The story of the Chumash Indians is one of great resilience. Hundreds of years ago, Chumash tribes utilized resources from both land and sea along a 200-mile stretch of California coastline. The establishment of Spanish missions in the late 1700s began a tumultuous period where the Chumash population dropped from 22,000 to 2,800. Decades of struggle followed. But the survivors never relented. 7 years after opening its first gaming facility, the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians started construction on a state-of-the-art casino and resort designed to elegantly blend with the surrounding Santa Ynez Valley land their ancestors once occupied. The success of the Chumash Casino Resort has put tribal members on the path to economic self-sufficiency for current and future generations. Today, you'll hear stories from a 9,000-year history, rich with culture, with giving, and with pride. Stories of great achievement, of past and present adversity, of the fight to revive a culture pushed to the brink of extinction. Stories of Chumash Life. In this edition of Chumash Life, a new generation of storytellers is being created as tribal descendants pursue careers in the arts. Members of Team Chumash, the volunteer group of the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians Foundation, fill care packages for foster children in Santa Barbara County. The tribe's culture department offers ongoing basket-making classes for tribal members in an effort to keep this beautiful Chumash tradition alive. But first, the tribe celebrates the 10-year anniversary of the naming of Chumash Highway. It was a momentous time when the California legislature unanimously passed Assembly Concurrence Resolution 75 in the fall of 2007.
This fall, the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians celebrates the 10-year anniversary of the naming of Chumash Highway, the highway that connects the Santa Ynez Valley to the city of Santa Barbara.
Highway 154 was a historic Chumash trail for thousands of years. In 2007, then Chairman Armenta and the Business Council thought that a good use of our new state lobbyist, Frank Molina, was to see if we could rename 154 to the Chumash Highway.
I had the good fortune of shepherding the legislation, which was Assembly Concurrent Resolution 75, ACR 75, through the legislative process, identifying an author, making sure committee consultants had background material to prepare their analysis, and educating members of the legislature to get the floor votes and getting it enacted.
The Chumash Highway follows an elaborate Chumash trail network, which linked several hundred early Chumash villages and towns, seasonal encampments, rock art sites, shrines, gathering places, and watering sources. These trails were vital to sustaining cultural longevity for more than 8,000 years in this region, as they formed the foundation for economic and social exchange among the Chumash.
We did a significant amount of historical research because the key to getting a highway renamed is the justification.
When you introduce a piece of legislation, the committees always want background. What's the purpose of the measure? Do you have background information? Getting good background material is rare.
Tribal staff members, including Kathleen Conti, Director of Museum Programs Research Resources, provided Frank with an abundance of well-researched background material for ACR 75, including maps that showed the specific historical trails along the Chumash Highway.
There were beautiful maps that showed the trails and the different villages. They provided me letters from the Dean of Anthropology from UCSB. So when I got it, I was kind of a little giddy because it was like, wow, look at this great background material. That made it really easy to educate the members because basically, once they saw the maps, it all kind of came together.
Routes through the Chumash territory were first recorded in the diaries of the Gaspar de Portola expedition in 1769, in which it is noted that in many instances, Chumash Indians led members of the expedition from one village to another, showing them the trails.
The detail of the maps showed intricate trails throughout the region, so really understanding how much happened with trade and contact between the villages and the territories that they covered was very unique.
The Chumash Highway naming project was particularly gratifying for the tribe because it demonstrated that members of the California legislature recognized and respected the historical significance of this region for the Chumash people.
The Chumash enjoy a great reputation in Sacramento because they're active, they participate, they're a trusted source of information.
3 legislators were responsible for seeing ACR 75 through.
Our author was a gentleman from San Jose, Assemblymember Joe Cotto, who happened to also be the chair of the California Latino Legislative Caucus at the time. He really understood sovereignty and was excited about working on the ACR for us. On the Senate side, we needed a floor jockey. That was then Senator Tom McClintock, now Congressman McClintock, who took it up on behalf of Cotto on the Senate side. And a third person that kind of went unrecognized was the late Senator Jenny Oropeza.
Once we had the research and showed the research to Caltrans and to the assembly committees, they were amazingly well received. And so the bill itself was unopposed in the assembly and unopposed in the Senate.
Travelers taking the scenic route from Santa Barbara to Santa Ynez can see the Chumash Highway signs along the way and know that they are crossing a journey that the Chumash people have traveled for thousands of years.
That was certainly a coming home story for the tribe, to have the recognition of those areas for our ancestors and for all the Chumash in the area. It was a very important moment for us.
Take a drive along the Chumash Highway, and you can experience the journey that Chumash ancestors took hundreds of years ago. From photographers to dancers to painters, tribal descendants are following their passion and flocking to the arts.
Artistic expression has long been a component of Chumash life, evidenced by the Chumash rock art paintings that date back thousands of years, and the intricately designed Chumash basketry of later generations. Today, tribal students are building upon the artistic traditions of their ancestors. Chumash descendants are channeling their creativity into pathways to success by earning degrees in various forms of art and turning those educations into rewarding careers. The tribe supports tribal members in their exploration of artistic endeavors in ways ranging from financial assistance to early exposure to arts education.
The tribe does a great job of supporting exploration of things that we don't always get access to in our school environments. Exposure to arts at a very early age teaches us how to listen to others, builds our character, teaches us self-respect. We can be better problem solvers and community members when we are nurturing these gifts.
One tribal descendant following her artistic calling is Angelina Hernandez, who received her Bachelor of Arts degree in photography at Brooks Institute.
I took standard photo 101, and ever since then, kind of been in love. I'm creative and needed that outlet, and photography is really what got me.
Now, as a professional photographer, Angelina photographs for magazines, events, and portraits at her photo studio in Santa Ynez near the Chumash Reservation.
I love shooting maternity and newborns because it's a very fleeting time. And if I can capture that for these parents, that moment in time where they're just in love with these little tiny things that they didn't know that they could be in love with that much, it's incredible.
Many other descendants are practicing artistic crafts in school or in their careers. Emma McCool received her BA in Performing Arts and Social Justice at the University of San Francisco and uses her creativity to advocate for social causes. Halik Sen Cruz has been a successful artist from a young age, contributing 4 original paintings to the tribe's Learning Center before even graduating high school. World drummer Cameron Tummel obtained his Master's in Fine Arts from Cal Arts in Valencia and now works as an educator and a composer. Matthew Tologan earned his Master's in Fine Arts in Dance at Tisch School of Arts at NYU and was accepted into the Mad Boots Dance Company in New York City. Another example is tribal descendant Amber Bassett. Amber attended Art Center College of Design, a global leader in art and design education.
I'm a painter, and I actually use my creative process, not just for painting, but for dancing, for poetry, and for ideas.
Amber uses her studio space in Ventura to create and market her work, which, like that of many other descendants, is influenced strongly by her heritage.
I'm related to Maria Solares, who is a storyteller, and I find that very beautiful and inspiring. Joseph Campbell said that the artist is the one who communicates myth for today. I find that very interesting, tying into my Indigenous roots, because we're crafting a new story about interrelating with our relatives in a way that honors them.
These days, students who pursue an educational path in the arts are entering a job market rife with opportunity, and the Santa Ynez Chumash tribe continues committing resources to help future generations take advantage of those opportunities.
747,000 jobs in the creative industries are found in the state of California. In the Los Angeles area, which is just a stone's throw from the reservation, 1 in 8 jobs is in the creative industry. So it is not only a rich social opportunity to work in the arts, but they're also an economic engine.
As far as the tribe helping us, I think it's amazing. I mean, we have a super rare opportunity to better ourselves and to make ourselves self-sustaining. You know, we go to school, we learn everything we can, and we get jobs. Or open our own businesses, or whatever you want to do with your life.
Seeding the future, that's what they're doing. And that's perfect, that's beautiful that they're doing that.
Beyond the economic opportunities, cultivating the next generation of Chumash artists is of great cultural importance as well.
We have this rich artistic tradition going back thousands of years. So to be able to be modern-day storytellers through our art, in a sense, we're cultural interpreters and intermediaries. That, for me, is one of the greatest powers of arts and our artists. Our creative people really help us survive.
These young artists are making their mark in the world by pursuing their dreams of creative expression. In a recurring segment of the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians Foundation and its work in the community, this segment focuses on the partnership between the tribe and Together We Rise, a nonprofit whose vision is to improve the lives of foster children in America.
The Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians Foundation recently partnered with the nonprofit group Together We Rise to help create a better experience for foster children of Santa Barbara County. Members of Team Chumash, the foundation's volunteer group, participated in the Together We Rise Sweet Case program by decorating and filling 100 duffel bags with a teddy bear, blanket, coloring book, crayons, a hygiene kit, and a Santa Ynez Tribal Health Clinic pouch which contained toothpaste, dental floss, mouthwash, and a pencil.
We had about 35 volunteers sign up to help assemble the sweet cases.
I was so excited to hear about this event, and even more so when I came here and saw what Team Chumash is doing. The idea of a group of people taking time out of their own busy lives to get together and do something that's really simple. They're decorating a bag and filling it with important items for a kid. You know, those things, those little touches in a child's life when everything has been lost to them, that is critical.
These items, donated by the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians to children in the foster care system in Santa Barbara County, will not only meet the basic needs of children in care, but more importantly, let the child know that the members of our community care for his or her well-being.
We live in a great area and we don't know about all of the children that we do have in our foster care system here in Santa Barbara County.
These kids are coming from a traumatic situation and, being removed from their families. These sweet cases do more than we can express. I mean, to have something that is theirs and they can have ownership of, the kids are definitely appreciative of it, deep down inside knowing that there's somebody out there that did something because they actually truly care.
I think there's just a power behind volunteers who come together like this and say, I'm going to take an evening out and I'm going to do something. I'm going to color a bag and fill it with some things that will bring comfort to a child that's hurting. I just think that's pretty incredible.
While some volunteers used stencils of cartoon characters and superhero logos to decorate the sweet cases, others included messages of love and encouragement.
I'm drawing the Superman logo on one side and the Batman logo on the other because, can never have enough heroes.
I know that sometimes it's the smallest details that a kid will remember, so doing something so simple for us might impact them in a big way.
What drew me to this one was actually the fact that it was helping children. It's a topic that's very important to me. I kind of raised my 2 little sisters. Being a Latino household where mom and dad worked a lot, I ended up taking that role, and ever since then, I just have this passion of making sure that I could do the same thing for others.
The tribe's partnership with Together We Rise is just one of many that is making a significant difference in the community. Over the years, the Ynez Band of Chumash Indians has donated more than $20 million to hundreds of groups, organizations, and schools in the community and across the nation as part of the tribe's long-standing tradition of giving.
The tribe's donations are making a significant impact on the community. Through its foundation, the tribe has contributed more than $20 million to date. From gathering and processing materials to creating complex designs, Chumash tribal members are learning how to revive an intricate craft of their ancestors.
There are many reasons why Chumash baskets are in museums and private collections all over the world. They're beautiful and intricate and rare. The Chumash used both twined and coiled weaving techniques, but it is for their beautiful coiled baskets, trays, treasure baskets, and hats that the Chumash are most renowned. The designs are unique and considered an art form, even though most Chumash baskets were used for utilitarian purposes.
Chumash basket making was a very important part of Chumash culture because it had to do with everyday life. Without Chumash baskets, our ancestors couldn't gather acorns or seeds, so it was very much part of sustaining their life.
The last of the great Chumash basket weavers passed away around 1915. It was almost a lost art, save for a few Chumash tribal members. Basket-making classes have been offered in the past, but Chumash elders requested the classes be held on a regular basis so more tribal members would have an opportunity to learn this beautiful craft. The classes are now held 2 days a month by the tribe's culture department.
Each class is 6 to 8 hours. It takes a while to make a basket, so we see new students coming through as well as old students coming in and picking up where they left off on a basket they may have started a couple of years before. We're teaching it very much how our ancestors have done it, and that's very important. We are taking the steps from the notes from Maria Solares and following those, so it's very authentic.
Nakia called on master basket weaver Abe Sanchez to teach the classes on the tribe's reservation.
Abe is a great friend that I met several years ago, and he's been weaving for about 15 years. He has many baskets on display throughout different museums. He has a really great way of not just teaching the technique, but also connecting to the people in a way that helps give them confidence and make them feel very comfortable.
In the Santa Ynez Valley, Chumash people use sumac, deergrass, and juncus to make baskets. Gathering and preparing materials is an important aspect of the classes, incorporated throughout the year.
We actually go to all these different places around our mountains because we have to go out and venture out to find this material that our people used many, many years ago. There have been times where we've gathered at certain areas and you can tell there's a special connection to the land and to the place. Or maybe we can find an area that there was a village site and scout out around for an area that could be a gathering area. So basketry has taken us out into our ancestral land, has connected us to it.
Using gathered and processed materials, students begin learning the challenging techniques of weaving. Depending on the size of the basket, it could take a student 2 to 3 hours to complete one row.
The students are making a coiled basket using a 3 juncus rod for the foundation. We're starting with that first. It's kind of getting people to get used to learning how to make a basket. Then second, how to put into pattern, put into design. The Chumash did have their specific pattern designs. The Chumash were very unique in that fact in the basketry. Probably the most collectible baskets in Southern California are Chumash, one of the rarest baskets too that survive.
Basket making takes great patience, but more surprisingly, it also takes great math skills.
Basketry is all mathematical. A design, it's a formula that needs to be figured out in order for your design to be perfect and exact as you go around that basket. So when I see these old baskets and I see a really fine design, I just know right away, I said that person was good in math.
With every weave, tribal members and descendants are restoring a significant element of Chumash identity that was nearly lost.
It's important to bring back basketry because it's what Chumash people have been known for many, many years. Unfortunately, we don't have that many basket weavers today. And so the ability to recreate those beautiful baskets again is very spiritual and monumental for the people.
We almost lost this craft. And I think the exciting thing is to see that we're reviving this and bringing this back. It's my responsibility to pass it on. As long as there's somebody who's interested, we got to keep on weaving.
The Culture Department continues to help tribal members and their families learn the traditional ways of their ancestors. Thank you for watching this fall 2017 edition of Chumash Life. See past segments at youtube.com/Chumash Life.